Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. We are here at the Aurora Municipal Airport, Revv Aviation.
Hi, Curtis. I'm Joel Magsig. I'm the COO, Chief Operating Officer for Revv Aviation here at Aurora. I'd like to welcome you to our facility.
Much appreciated.
Hello, Mireya Bañuelos here with Good Morning Aurora. Thanks for having us.
All right, excited to have you.
We're so excited to be here.
Absolutely. So we're looking forward to this tour and learning about Revv Aviation. You guys get ready to see some great things. Right now, we're going to turn it over to Joel so that he can tell us all about Revv, some of its history, services, and also we're learning about the charter flight program as well.
Absolutely.
All right.
So you're right, my left. Over here, we got some of our flight school aircraft. We are a full-service flight school. We train you all the way from your first discovery flight all the way through commercial and instrument training if you're going to go straight to the airlines and get a career in the aviation profession. We've got several hangars here. If you own an airplane, you can come out here and hangar with us. We'll take full service of your aircraft. We've got a big maintenance facility over here, which we'll take a walk through if we can figure out how to do that. And here's our fixed base operation, or FBO. We'll take a walk inside in just a second, but just to talk about Aurora Airport, we're a towered airport, which means we're controlled airspace. Not all small airports are, but this is part of the city of Aurora, and we have a control tower which controls all the operations. We're just outside of Chicago O'Hare's airspace, so we have that's good and bad. So you can get in here, and we're literally one red light from O'Hare.
That's awesome.
Right there, and you can get all the way on down 88, all the way to O'Hare with no traffic lights. So we're very accessible to the city. You don't have to pay the same landing fees you would at Midway or O'Hare. You're also outside of the Class B, which is the bigger airport, and those larger airports, you got the delays, you got instrument holding for takeoff and things like that. So it's a very accessible way to get into Chicago. We've had several kind of VIPs and things like that that come up, park their jets here and black card into the city because it's more accessible.
That's awesome. Very cool stuff. Joel, thank you for this, man. Thank you for this. I'm going to be snapping pictures as well as we're taking this tour. Get ready, Aurora. This is going to be awesome.
Come with us.
Come on, we'll go inside to the FBO.
That's going to be a trivia question later on for y'all.
Yeah. First trivia question of the day. What's FBO? Fixed base operation.
Oh, man.
Remember that. Write that down, you guys.
So cool. So cool.
So can you tell us a little bit about it? Like, how was this born? And thank you. I know you mentioned something. It used to be a family-owned.
Yes. So Revv is Revv Aviation is a doing business as name. It is Carver Aero LLC, which is in Davenport, Iowa. It was 1973 was its original incorporation date, and it's been a charter airline for Davenport, Iowa for all that time in its existence. Mr. Carver was a well-known kind of daredevil and passionate for aviation. And what the facility we're standing in today in Aurora used to be known as Luminaire, with Mom and Pop Lumen running this facility, the fixed base, and also the maintenance facility next door. So through a couple of purchases and mergers, our investors, CL Enterprises, purchased Carver Aero and Luminaire and several other small entities and merged them all, and we've become Revv Aviation. So that's
Amazing.
a little bit about our history.
Amazing.
And you see some of these videos that we'll walk through. But CL Enterprises is Peter Limburger and Inga Karas. They're our investors. And we're super happy with the investment that they made. Peter, if you get to know him, is super passionate about aviation. He owns some of the coolest, unique airplanes that we have. A Boeing Stearman. He owns a Czech aircraft L-29, and several others. So pretty interesting guy if you ever get to meet him.
Joel, you're giving us a lot of trivia questions for you great listeners out there. So
Yeah, I don't know if you get a chance, if you can edit this, you can pop up little pictures of what a Stearman looks like and what a L-29, but L-29's kind of a mid-era jet from the Czech Air Force. It's one of the earlier jets. It's not in use by any militaries right now, but it's cool that he's got a jet to go fly around in.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's like a fighter jet.
We look good, guys. We look good.
All right. Well, this is if you're coming into Revv Aviation, you're gonna come park outside. We'll fuel you up. We'll tie you down. We'll hangar you if you're gonna spend the night, and then you get to come into our facility and pay for your gas and come talk to our folks here.
Morning,
You
fellas.
guys want to say hi?
Hey.
We're live on Facebook, fellas. Good morning to you guys. If anyone is interested in flying, let your childhood dreams come true here at Revv Aviation. Just saw that out there.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
So I don't know if everyone's aware, but the national industry for pilots, because of the reduction in age and the terminus at 65 for international pilots and a little bit beyond that for American pilots, there's more pilots leaving the airlines at the top end at their seniority than there are pilots coming in at the bottom. So America is going through, and most of the world right now is going through a little bit of a pilot shortage. So guys like Cameron can come take you. It's an extensively, it's got a wide open career path. I mean, an international captain for transatlantic captain makes about 300,000 plus in his year.
Wow.
So if you want to make that kind of money, you start right here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is the place.
That's why all these
This
guys
is
are
the
doing
place.
it. They're all like,
That's
hey,
why they all
I'm gonna
smiling
be
too this early in the morning. Yeah.
Absolutely. Obviously, not everybody takes that
Goals.
path, but where you fall out in the pilot chain, it's a pretty lucrative career. And to be that many, we're hundreds of thousands of pilots short.
What about if it's just someone like Curtis and I that just maybe want to learn to fly, but we don't want to make a career out of it? This is the place for that as well.
We do $99 discovery flights. So if you just want to come fly around
Guys,
here,
$99. Come on.
Right.
pop down a Benjamin.
All about the Benjamin.
Then come fly with us, and guys, some of our flight instructors will take you out. We call it a discovery flight. We'll just teach you a little bit about how to fly and what it does. You'll be with a certified instructor, so you'll be able to fly the plane a little bit, up and down, left and right.
That's
kind of thing.
amazing.
And we'll take you through a couple landings and show you how it all works. And you get to listen to the control tower and be a pilot for a portion of an hour.
Nice.
Tell me a little bit
Good morning,
about,
everybody.
Good morning. So tell me a little bit about, so this airport is in Sugar Grove.
Yes, but we're part of the city of Aurora.
Tell me a little bit
Yes.
about that.
So we this is Aurora City property inside the fence line, but we're physically located in Sugar Grove. So I think many Aurora residents might not know that there's an airport a little to the west of us.
Yes.
But it's here, and you got, like I mentioned outside, we got great access to the city, great access to the rest of the world, and great access to the Mideast specifically.
It's
Wonderful.
in your backyard.
Or Midwest, sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Old habits, right?
Yeah.
Good morning to Daniel Calderon, Tracy Duran, all of you guys. Pastor Jose Torres, God bless you too. Tracy Hodges, all of you guys, good morning to you. Good morning, Aurora, on location.
All right, lead the way, lead the way. I love the furniture, by the way.
Yeah, it's very aviation themed. It's kind of like
Yes.
Moving Spider.
Ah.
I can totally relax, hang out here.
I love the gray and the red and everything. Colors.
You want to say hi? Are you on the call? Okay. All right. Everybody's on this call, so.
It's a busy Wednesday in Aurora.
I think
Yes.
it's like this all the time, though, right? You guys are very...
Well, when we have pilots come through or families coming in and out for the charter, things like that, it gets busier than this.
Absolutely.
Now, do your pilots that do this journey, right?
Yeah. The Discovery
The
flights?
Discovery flights. So they also, could you charter a plane with
Yes.
one of them to go?
Mostly the charter pilots are a little bit more senior.
Okay,
So those
got it.
guys are professional airline pilots at this point, so they usually have at least 1,500 hours, 1,500 hours at least. And they've got a little higher ratings, so they're in the professional. Come on through, buddy.
No, come on in.
And those guys will, like, I don't know if we saw it, but we can show you on one of these posters here. We'll take you on one of our King Airs and charter you around the Midwest.
Tracy Hodges says, I bought this for my husband for his birthday once.
Oh, the Discovery
Oh,
Flight.
very
Yeah,
cool.
Tracy Hodges.
Did you ever take yours? You signed up
Not
for one,
yet.
didn't you?
No,
Maria
not
signed up
yet.
for one
I
too.
have to.
So this is a King Air. This is one of the charter aircraft we have. So families, business trips.
Wonderful.
If you get your companies writing you off your expenses, come take a trip on us. We'll get you to meetings you need to go. I mean, when time is money,
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
you got to be at a meeting over in Sioux Falls. We'll get you there and get you right back.
Come on, step it up, fellas. Step it up. Let's do it, Aurora. Come on, we can do that. We're here. That's second
it's-
largest city in Illinois. That's
Exactly.
us.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And it's not well known that we do charter. So most of our charter aircraft are in Davenport, Iowa, at the former Carver Aero.
Yeah.
But we are moving a King Air 90 here, and we'll potentially have a couple other planes here soon.
Great stuff.
Very
Can't go too
nice.
much into it.
Great stuff. Good morning, Rachel.
So for visiting pilots, if you're coming in, you need a place to rest or file your flight plans or take a chill. This is our pilot lounge.
Very cozy.
Yeah.
Oh
And we'll
man, this
keep-
is nice.
You know, sometimes you have pilots where they'll drop off clientele, go to the city, and the pilots will wait here and chill out, relax, put your feet up, get some sleep.
Very nice.
Random pictures, guys. Don't
Yeah.
mind.
All right.
Beautiful room.
What are the questions?
What are the questions that
What's
we
live?
have?
What's the audience asking?
Do you guys have any questions?
Feel
Put 'em
free
in
to
the
ask
chat.
your questions if
Put
you
'em
got
in
them
the
in the
chat.
chat.
Okay. Hey, also not related to aviation, but we do display and sell artwork for the Aurora Art League here in the hallway. So
Very
if you
cool.
find anything, everything's got a price tag, and it's all done by local artists. And we just use this as a little mini gallery. Excuse me. And
I love that.
Gally, you're back in it, brother. You're back in it.
So we got some really nice artwork here.
What a great way to support the community.
And you can see all the artists and a little bit of information about them. But and
One
the
of
phone
our-
number stuff.
One of our listeners has a question. She
Sure.
says, Rachel Cleghorn, good morning. She says, do they still have a kids' day?
Yes, in fact we have a summer camp. We're excited about that. We got
Yeah.
a summer camp. It's through the Boys and Girls Club. It's really for a little bit more underprivileged kids.
Sure.
They're in part of the Aurora Boys and Girls Club. But we're running it 3 sessions where we're going to have tons of kids here from, I want to say, 8 to 18.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
it's a pretty exciting time. We're all kind of rehearsing for it, so we're going to
Yeah.
run,
Yep.
day activities. It's like a 3-day program.
Yeah, you know that question I asked earlier about your service and your thoughts
Yes.
before. I grew up in Harvey, and I never thought that I'd see the things that I saw, and even coming here and doing a tour like this. So I appreciate the
No, yeah.
airport for doing that kind of thing for
Yeah,
kids.
no,
that means a lot.
Yes.
It means
so
a lot when you're young.
Our guy, there's a guy here who works very closely with the Boys and Girls Club. His name's Guy Leisure, and he's got a philanthropist heart. And
Absolutely.
we really want to reach out to the community in every way we can.
That means a lot when you're a kid.
Yeah, and in some of these cases, it'll be, their only access to aviation, a way to see an airport that may be very difficult to get to otherwise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Flight training.
So here's where we have some little cubicles for flight school. I don't know if I'm interrupting anybody, but yeah. So we'll take a student in and sit down in a little one-on-one, and you'll see
Really study.
cockpit mock-ups, and we'll teach you, okay, what does this do, what does that do, and we'll go through different things. So each instructor will have a little cubicle. He'll meet one-on-one with the students, and just kind of go through. Here's all the maybe we can get some of this.
Go ahead in there, brother.
This is some of the different types of airspace and how you have to, different rules of what you have to do for visual flight rules or instrument flight rules in the different airspaces. And then on some of these maps, you got to learn what all these different colors and rings mean and who you got to talk to and all the rules for flying. It's a very rules-based profession, and that's what keeps it safe.
I can understand that,
Absolutely.
yes.
Because if it was chaotic, you wouldn't want that.
No. You want
Yeah, I want
to be a passenger on that flight.
I want to put this up here for a second. I want you to zoom in on that. This is what Revv stands for. This is not an acronym, but this is what we stand for in the community. We want to make sure we maintain the wonder of aviation, the accessibility, like how we talked about with the Boys and Girls Club. We want to keep a sense of community, keep everybody involved, and keep the passion in the community for aviation. And we're all about people. We're not trying to be, sorry, I'm gonna take this down. We're not trying to be a big corporate aviation structure. We're meant to be friendly and deal one-on-one with everybody in the community, and passion and excellence for what we do. So we'll keep walking, but I just wanted to kind of give you this. So just keep going.
Right over here.
This is where the mirror was when he did his speech. It's a working hangar, but we keep this one a little fancy for events and things like that. So if you have an event you want to come, want us to host it, or to be your location, we can put nicer planes in, or smaller planes, or bigger planes. You can have dances here, dinners here.
Oh,
that kind of thing.
nice.
Wow. Yes, this is good. I can hear his voice now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you feel it?
Yeah, he was good.
Oh man. So I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. What's some of the for the novice, for the person who's never, who's been watching planes and just going to the airport for a trip? What's some of the frequently asked questions that you get?
Well, we get questions, a lot of questions about like how does the plane work? What makes it safe? Everyone's concerned about safety. You'll notice that when you look at general aviation planes, smaller planes, a lot of them are older.
Right.
That doesn't mean they're unsafe. So every plane like this one gets a full annual inspection where every single bearing, part, rib, it gets inspected for cracks, for wear, for anything that's out of tolerance, and gets replaced. So this plane right here probably has had many pieces of it replaced since it was built. The engines get overhauled every 2,000 hours typically, which is when they talk about an overhaul, they disassemble it completely, machine it back to original tolerances, or put new parts back in the engine. So the engine is not the way it was originally built. It's been rebuilt every 2,000 hours. So that's what keeps it safe. The rules keep us safe. And then the physics of aviation, how the wind and Bernoulli's equation and things like that cause the aircraft to lift, it's well established and well known. So you keep it above a certain speed, it's going to fly.
That's awesome.
So it's generally safe. You just got to know the risks you're taking, and as you know, passenger aircraft are safer than cars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, by statistics,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You're more likely to get in an accident on the highway than you are in a large aviation.
I want to say hi to the folks. Scott Hodge, Society 57. See you checking in, brother. Good morning to you. Amber Sexton, Alejandro Ibarra, and also said hi to Pastor Jose Torres, Fresh Start City Church in there.
Hey, Pastor, how are you?
Hello. Is it easier to fly smaller planes or bigger planes?
Technically, it's easier, but it's a little bumpier.
Okay.
I mean, they get
That
tossed.
makes
These are very
sense,
light,
yeah.
so they get tossed around a little bit. So some people are not super comfortable getting bounced around a little bit. The bigger planes mean a bit faster speed. Faster speed means you got to be thinking ahead a little bit faster.
Gotcha.
So things happen pretty slowly in small
this one's
planes.
okay, which you can learn to appreciate that.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Depending
When
on
you're
the
starting out, you
circumstance.
start
Yes,
out slow,
yes.
so there's a lot of room for mistakes. You're like, oh, no, let's not do that. Yeah.
That's
All right.
We'll pass through this little hallway and we'll take a look at some of the fancier planes we got.
So you guys, just to recap a little bit, I don't know if you heard, but they actually rent this space for events. So if you have a party or you want to have a dance or something, you can rent this.
Whoa.
Look at
You
that.
guys are gonna like this. You're gonna like this.
So this is where they start getting a little bit more expensive and a little
Yes.
fancier.
So this is the 9-passenger.
This is a customer that just rents from us. So he keeps his here, and we keep it polished up and ready for him. When he says he's ready to fly, we pull it out and have it ready to go.
Wow.
This one's prime.
Beautiful.
Beautiful plane. Beautiful plane.
This is one of the company planes that we do our aerobatic training in. So we'll do loops and rolls.
No way, really? That's awesome.
Aurora's version of the Blue Angels.
Yeah, well, when we meet Jason was on the aerial demonstration team, our CEO. He's actually, I should talk to the camera.
Sorry.
Jason Wilson, our president, is a member of the Hall of Fame, Aerobatics Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
And he was many years the lead pilot for the Red Baron Pizza demonstration team.
That's
So
awesome.
they're like a 4-ship, you know,
Yeah.
private Thunderbirds kind of.
That's
guys.
amazing.
Yeah.
Tracy Duran says, just curious, how much do charter flights usually cost? I'm sure it varies depending on the destination.
It does. It's there's basically a startup fee and then per hour fee. So
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's out of reach of some, but
Okay.
it's about $2,200 an hour, give or take, depending on the size of the plane. Some of the bigger planes we have are more than that.
All right.
And a little less, depending on the range.
Do the wings on this plane make it really different compared to this one
What do you mean by that?
in terms of flight?
Well, yes. So
These are way up higher.
Yeah.
compared
So
to lower.
this one's got the wing sitting on top. It's called the high wing and the low wing. It really doesn't affect the plane. The plane is lifted by the wing, so it's either lifting underneath you or lifting on top of you. But the plane, if you'll notice, almost all planes will have the wing about the midsection of the plane, which means it's hanging underneath there and it's balanced. So you got the weight of the engine up front, and then this part in the back is much lighter, so it tends to balance underneath the wing. And so most of the passengers sit or basically over the midpoint of the wing. So when you take passenger jets that you're used to seeing, you'll notice that all the windows are basically stacked evenly over the wing, and then that's weight and balance, because you got to have all the weight centered over the wing.
Very nice. Which one is your favorite aircraft?
That one, because it's mine.
This one's your favorite. I love it.
That's my plane.
Does it have a name?
I don't know. Depends what mood I'm in.
I got you, brother. I got you. Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, let's come back through this way.
Okay.
Now, when you're
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast, live on the
even
scene
that is
at
more
Revv
expensive.
Aviation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's yours, it's more expensive.
Yeah, I mean the plane itself. Planes have had before COVID or during COVID come down quite a lot in cost. Excuse me.
Oh.
But now they're going back up a little bit. But you know, the purchase price of a small plane is, at least what I paid, was high car prices.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know how cars are going up, but if you can get into these expensive, like if you can get a fully loaded Suburban or a
Okay.
Grand Wagoner, you can probably get yourself into a plane.
Now, I know somebody out there is thinking, what did he just say? Rewind that when the video's over.
Yeah.
If you can get a fully loaded Suburban, you can get a plane.
Watch
Perhaps.
this later.
Depends on how sexy you want your plane to be.
Exactly. Ryan Plunkett, good morning to you.
We'll go around. Okay.
Around this way.
No, we'll cut through. Come on. It's just. You guys having fun?
Yeah, he loves
It's
we
gonna
love
go
it.
dark for
We
a
love
second.
it here. We just want to stay here forever.
Oh man, this is legit. I love it. All right,
This
thank
is
you,
so
sir.
cool. Again, thanks for showing us around.
Okay. Well, we're a nationwide charter, and so I don't know if they're still doing their briefing. You guys done?
Hello, you guys. How are you? Good morning, Aurora. My name's Mariah.
Come on in. This is our operations center.
Curtis and Connor.
Good morning. Hey,
Good morning, everyone.
I've got some.
Okay.
Yep. Thank
morning.
you.
Wow.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
This
guys
is
take care of that.
Kelly and
Kelly.
Joe, right?
Yep.
Joe.
Hello.
With our operations center. So we're a nationwide charter. These are all of our airplanes around the country. We've got out in Montana, got some that are usually flying down to South Florida. We've got several out in the Midwest.
Midwest, right.
In Davenport, mostly along the West Iowa line.
Okay.
But yeah, so these are some of our aircraft. So this is where we keep track of what's going on. If
Okay.
pilots have an issue, if there's something with hotel reservations or in-flight emergencies or things like that, we call it here.
Oh, nice.
Why?
Yeah.
I walked in here and I got like Mission Impossible vibes. Does that happen?
Yeah, we try, but it's
Dun,
more a
dun, dun,
necessity than trying to be something we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And our time zones as well.
Yeah, these are just the times for the different zones in the U.S.
Very cool. Have a
Thank
great
you,
day, guys.
guys.
Thank you.
Much to see in here. All right. Well, do we have a way to walk over? I guess we can just take a walk and
Yeah.
talk. All right.
Take a walk. Let's
Let's
do
take
it.
a walk. We'll walk over to our maintenance facility.
Sorry, I'm just trying to organize the flight. I apologize.
Connor, you're good.
beautiful day.
So what's going on this building here?
Okay, so JA is they're our friends here at the Aurora Airport. They do similar to what we do. So same thing. They're a fixed base operator as well. They've got maintenance facilities and fuel facilities just like we do.
Okay. So if somebody owns their own plane and
Yes.
they would like to leave
Hang
it here,
hang it
hang
with
in
us,
here,
yeah.
right? So you guys basically, while it's kind of staying here, you guys polish it.
Yeah,
and
we'll
do
take care of it.
maintenance?
Yeah,
Okay.
maintenance will be as needed. If you tell us, hey, I need this worked on, we'll take it over to the maintenance facility. But if nothing's needed, we'll just park it for you and charge you a little rent.
Gotcha.
And when you're ready to have it fueled up, we'll gas it up for you and put you on your way.
Amazing.
Nice.
Guys, you are watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast, live at the Aurora Municipal Airport in Sugar Grove, but it's all Aurora.
If you got a chance, maybe you can pinch in and zoom on those. Those are our general services that we list.
We're gonna have a lot of photos for you guys later too.
Yes, we are. Very impressive, sir. Very impressive. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Okay, no problem. We brought our walking shoes today.
You did? Yeah.
This guy.
Oh my god. That just sounds good.
Yeah,
does.
that's a radial engine. They gotta bring this thing back out.
Well, you guys, Joel is also a veteran, so thank you for your
Oh, thank you.
for your
Absolutely.
service.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was Army helicopter pilot for 20 years.
We had a great discussion beforehand, so it was awesome.
I got a chance to fly the Apache most of my career, the Army's attack helicopter, and then ended up flying Russian Mi-17s, the Russian cargo helicopter. Flew a couple other ones in the way.
Very cool.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
What kind of online questions do we have that we can?
Let me see. Let me
Answer.
monitor the stream, see what we got.
You got it.
Maritza Velasquez, good morning to you. Michael Ely, good morning. Everybody's here. Montana, Cantonijos Analiza, good morning. And Jen Mendoza, good morning. Aurora Chamber of Commerce there.
Good morning.
Good deal.
You guys, if you have any questions, don't forget to ask. Write it in the chat. Don't be shy.
Now I have a question though. So,
Well, let's
when
just, I'm thinking it's going to be too long to walk back and forth. Let's just sit and talk here, and then
Absolutely.
if they're done with this meeting, I'd like to introduce you to Jason Wilson before we finish up.
Okay. So my question is, when it comes to us, or this being an FBO, we were talking a little bit earlier about our proximity to Chicago and the capacity. Could you talk to me a little bit more about that? Because most people think that they need to be at O'Hare or
Yes.
Midway. Where do we fall in with that?
So there's currently not a passenger terminal or passenger service here. There is charter service if you want to privately rent a plane, and we have great accessibility if you are a pilot or if you are coming into the Chicago area. This facility offers you access to the city with a 45-minute to maybe 50-minute to downtown, and from here to O'Hare is 25, 30 minutes.
Wonderful.
And no light. Well, one light here in Sugar Grove.
Okay. One light.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad.
And our tower there.
Yes.
The what's
So-
the name of that?
So the towers are controlled by the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration.
Okay.
So the employees that work the tower are employees of the FAA,
Okay.
and they're maintaining the same standards all the way around America. Similar verbiage. They all speak the same. They all have the same phraseology. He's going to be really loud in the background.
I like the sound of the engine though. It just sounds motivating, like revving up. Oh, I think right here at the roundabout's a good place to talk.
Yeah. Get away from some of that noise.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And JA.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in your time as a pilot and flying,
Yes.
how do you work with a team of people who may not have had the same experience as you? Talk about the team aspect and what we're doing here at Revv Aviation.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because that's basically my role. So we have 4 vice presidents in the company. We got maintenance, the vice president of FBOs. Sure. We've got the charter vice president, and then we've got our flight school vice president. So I focus my day typically on maintaining the relationship between those 4, making sure that our maintenance works for our own flight school, and we do our own, that we keep our aircraft flying, and it's part of my job to make sure that all 4 of these pillars of the company are independently financially successful and also focused on customer success. So we want to make sure each customer that comes to talk to Revv walks away satisfied and happy. Whether we're working on your aircraft, whether we're training you how to fly, whether we're taking you somewhere, or if we're working just to fuel you or park you somewhere.
Right.
So
and what can we and the listeners do for you? How can the
come
community
visit.
help you?
Come visit.
Take those flights.
Really, it's I think for the younger folks in the crowd, I think the profession of aviation it's fascinating, first of all, but as I explained earlier, it can be very lucrative career path if you're interested in it. And it takes a little bit of money to kind of get going at it, but there's loans available, there's financing available. For those that choose to serve, there's veteran programs that can get you VA access into the aviation community. And it's a good career path that can, if you're in your 20s, it can last you all the way till 65, 70.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of travel involved, but you see the world in a different way once you start flying. You really do. It kind of changes your viewpoint.
Absolutely.
Perception.
Gwen, good morning. Aurora Regional Chamber of Commerce. Good to see you guys in the chat as well. The time is 9:31 a.m. You're listening to and watching and feeling hopeful. Good morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast here at Revv Aviation with Joel.
All right, well, good. Let's keep walking back inside. I want to text Jason just see if he's okay.
It feels good to be out here.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's one of our distinctively painted planes that's actually down there. You'll see in part of that jeep. That's our Revv
See the
paint.
logo?
Yeah.
Red and white.
Yeah.
I like it. Man, this is cool. This is a cool
We like
tour.
that paint job. That's a great paint job.
Yep. All right. If you got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Now we're headed back in. Julia Lindberg, good morning to you as well.
And for those of you that are just logging on and checking out the video, the interview, you guys remember there is a summer camp here through Boys and Girls Club, and you can charter your own planes here too if you want. You and a group of your friends want to take a private jet somewhere. This is the place to do it. And if you have anybody that's interested in learning to fly a plane, this is it, you guys. Revv Aviation right here.
Scott Hodge, who knows? One day we'll fly over society, man.
You gonna come take your discovery flight?
Yes, I have.
Save that on camera. What did you say?
I'm gonna come and take my discovery flight. I'll make sure to put photos.
Got to.
Yes. Can you imagine me learning?
Oh,
to
I can
fly?
imagine.
The world is not ready for that, but I'm sure they do it safely here. Let's see. So this is a private area.
Yeah, this is
right?
the headquarters.
This is the headquarters.
Yeah, but when is the current lease end?
Is there a Y-shaped bypass valve?
All right, and this is
This is my office, and if Jason's available, we may pop in on him. But let's. What other questions do you have that we can answer or go through? Maybe I can just talk a little bit about some of our bases.
Yes, please.
I'm just going to run through a list so I don't skip anybody, but we've got operations out in Davenport, Iowa, Muscatine, Iowa, Council Bluffs, Janesville, Wisconsin, Sugar Grove here, Huron, South Dakota, Sioux City, Iowa, Omaha, Nebraska, Molina, Illinois, Schaumburg, Illinois, which is a great other nice little airport right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where we run a little flight school down there. And then we run, as I showed you on the screen, we got a big operation down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so it's a lot of
You
bases.
guys cover a lot of ground.
Yeah.
And they're all FBOs?
Most of those are FBOs. Some of them were tenants.
Okay.
So like the charter in South Florida, we're actually a tenant, and but we put a bunch of our King Airs down there and fly medical charters. So getting people out of the Caribbean mostly. Took some shark bite victims back to the hospitals in Jackson Memorial.
Wow.
Mostly taking people that are kind of semi-emergency. Every once in a while we have like life, limb, and eyesight emergencies, but we take people mostly back to the hospitals in Fort Lauderdale and Miami that are in distress in the Caribbean.
Wow, that's huge.
Anyone ever lost at sea that you guys have recovered? Any search and
We're
rescue?
not a search and rescue, no.
Okay.
But we would take over from a patient if they were rescued and needed a flight. You know, sometimes the search and rescue will take them to the nearest local hospital. If care can't be provided, say in Trinidad and Tobago, we'll fly them to Miami.
Okay.
That's a lot of St. Croix, Virgin Islands, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
All right, so some of our aircraft, we got 3 of the largest King Airs 350s. We got 2 King Air 200s, 1 F90. These might not mean something to everybody, but if you know the aircraft, these are like getting smaller and smaller in King Airs, which are twin engine turboprop aircraft. Hawker XP that's currently going through FAA conformity to join the charter, and then we've got a Pilatus PC-12, which is a single engine. It's kind of like that red and white one we saw.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have a
Yeah.
question. What does this mean?
That's great. In fact, you just get don't pay on that.
Okay.
That's all my chicken scratch
Notes.
for
Okay.
different notes. So
Don't even pay attention to that.
we've got 55 flight school aircraft.
Okay.
10 of which are twin engine, like the red and white one you saw out there. So we don't have a problem with accessibility. If you want to come fly with us, we're going to get you flying. Because a lot of flight schools are not this big at all.
Right.
In fact, we were recently listed as one of the bigger 18 biggest flight schools or best flight schools to watch in America, along with Flight Safety, which for those that know is a big company, CAE, Kinetic, and Boeing.
Wow.
So we're listed in some pretty high company. Now, I'm not saying that we're anything like Boeing right now, but we're definitely one of the flight schools to watch, and we're really engaged. We fly over 2,000 hours a month just in flight school.
Wow.
I'm not going to turn the air on for some reason.
How can people learn more? By visiting the website or?
Yes. Take our website. Hang on a second. Is it killing you guys in here?
Not really, but a little. For those who've been in my office, I thought I had a nice one, but beating it, man, beating it.
Okay, sorry. What was the last question, you guys?
How people can learn more if they're interested.
Please check us out on the web. So RevVaviation.com.
Okay.
We've got an extensive website. You can read bios. You can look at what we do. You can look at our bases. We've got a page for every base, so you can get pictures and get kind of familiar with what we do location by location. And then we've got a way to book charters through our website as well. So if you want to start taking flights with us, send in, hey, I want to go from here to here, and we'll run you back a quote.
Any limitation on distance with the charters?
If you don't mind a fuel stop,
okay,
we'll get you wherever you're going.
Okay.
Technical, as you call it, technical stop or a fuel stop will be required for about anything over about 800 nautical miles.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Which is how many hours?
Let's say about 3.5, 4 hours.
Okay.
But it's about the comfort level for a smaller plane anyway.
So you could charter a plane from here to Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
they can
and then you can invite us.
We've done Biloxi, Mississippi to the casinos down there.
Oh.
We've done charters to the East Coast quite often. We do charters out to the Rockies.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So guys want to go skiing?
Where do you see Revv Aviation in the next 5 years?
That is a great question. We are going to grow. I want to see our charter airline grow significantly. I'd like us to be doing the operations that we do for private charters at more bases. Not every base that I listed has charter aircraft assigned there.
Sure.
As we grow financially, it allows us to buy more airplanes, and then the more airplanes we buy, we can put them out for customer use. I'd like to see us grow. We're going to be a Midwest-focused company for our future. I mean, we are a Midwest-oriented grassroots company, but I would like to see us grow a little bit more regionally to the south. We've got, as I mentioned, we got a flight school in Alabama. Mm-hmm. One of our locations that we may grow into is Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. And then a little bit more to the west, we put an operation out in Billings, Montana. We're trying to assess whether that's going to be a permanent base for us or not. But yeah, I think our operations in Florida are going to allow us, because of efficiency, because we're already operating there, to allow us to have a South Florida base at some point.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
And that's gonna really be a much bigger national stretch than we are right now.
Yeah. There's an Air Force base out in Billings.
Yes, there's Air Force bases all over. But I think it's a National Guard. I think it's National Guard C-130s at Billings, Montana. I may be wrong.
Okay.
At least I saw one flying when I was out there.
Yeah, it's in the outskirts of Billings. It was a great place. Yeah, really awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, so the time right now is 9:40 a.m. I'm gonna check the chat to see if you guys have any other questions here real quick. Absolutely.
While you check your chat, I would like to ask about tuition. How accessible is tuition for students that are now graduating high school, because they had graduation this weekend?
Yes. So what I would suggest is bank financing.
Okay.
Is an option. It's not always, that depends on credit and some things like that. Bank financing can be an option. If you start the program, generally flight training, you're going to end up starting your private pilot license on your own, which is basically your driver's license. It's kind of like the difference between a driver's license and a CDL, a commercial driver's license. So your private pilot is just allowing you to fly.
Okay.
And then your CDL would be like you can drive on for hire.
Yeah.
That's your commercial license. So you have to progress, get a private license, then you get an instrument rating, which is to fly in the clouds, which is not seeing out the window, just flying on the instruments. That's obviously a little bit more technical. That gets a little more difficult.
Wow.
And it's a lot more rules. And then you get into the commercial license. So when you get into your instrument, your commercial, you may be able to find financing at that point if you can get signed up with some jobs. Typically, the first job that most pilots end up doing is they go through the commercial rating. Commercial allows you to get paid, and then they get an instructor rating, a CFI, certified flight instructor, and then they go back and teach other people to do it. Nice. So the CFI is like the guys you met downstairs.
Yeah.
Remember I told you had to have like 1,500 hours to get into charter and professional stuff? So these guys downstairs are instructing other people while they build up their time to go get into the professional industry.
That is
So, and it can be inaccessible financially for some.
Right.
I understand that, but it's there are some options. Service in the military, most military programs will do what's called tuition assistance, or they'll allow you to do your VA. The Veterans Administration will help pay for that. And so 3 of our schools are what's called Part 141, which means it's not just like a local flight school, it's a flight academy,
right.
Which means the curriculum is approved by the FAA, and it also means that it's eligible for tuition assistance through government programs if they're available.
That's amazing. One of our listeners did have a question. She says, do you have air shows or events?
We do. We have the Quad Cities Air Show in Davenport coming up.
Okay.
It's in June 20, the weekend of the 21st or 22nd, whatever that weekend is.
Okay.
It'll be a fun one. We've got so far scheduled. I'm not sure if the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds are coming, but we do have aerial demonstrations from F-35s. A lot of the big jets that in the military are coming out there. We've got an aerial demonstration team that'll be coming out there, and then we'll be bringing a lot of our stuff. We're hosting most of it, so the Quad Cities Air Show out in Davenport will be a good one to come take a look at.
Would you share the flyer with us so that we can share with our viewers?
I will. I'll see if I can get that to you.
Okay. Yeah, sometime this week, next week, whenever.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's 9:44. I think we will start to land the plane.
Okay, good.
But our show has always ended on a positive note. So my question would be, what's your message to the people of Aurora today?
Well, first of all, I want everybody to know that that we're here. 2, that aviation is fun. It's exploratory. It will change your perspective on life. It will change your if you've always been just a little nervous about it, come try it. If you're nervous about flying in the big planes, come take a discovery flight and see what it's actually like to be, manipulate the flight controls yourself. It's fun. And there's a sense of wonder, like I said, there's a sense of wonder in aviation that, it took the Wright brothers to discover it. They didn't toil in vain. It's kind of impossible to think that we are only 118 years or something from our first flight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something crazy. And we've been to the moon,
Wow.
Yeah.
We've traveled supersonic. It's
Absolutely.
an amazing industry. You can tell I'm passionate about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a big deal.
And your office shows it, sir.
Yeah.
Your office really
It's
does show
beautiful
it.
office.
Yep.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Yep. Curtis, thank you.
Thanks for
coming
your
out.
time. We appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having us.
Yeah, thanks.
It was great
Yeah, it's
to,
good.
We appreciate
to
it
be
very
here
much.
and to
Ladies-
share this with you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to know that Revv Aviation is definitely here for you. Get to know Revv Aviation by going to the website and take some of these charter flights. Do the discovery program. And, as Joel said, one more is in for that. Wonder, accessibility, community, people, and excellence. Thank you very much to our friends
Thanks,
at
guys.
Revv Aviation.
Thanks for coming out. Really.
See you
we
guys
really
soon.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Absolutely.